This is Raehne's place over here in Founders Point. Dude, is that the boss? No, that's a neighborhood laborer. What are you doing next to Raehne's place? They're okay. You know what? They're landscaping. Oh, okay. Never mind. Appreciate it. Thanks. Anyway, this is Raehne's place. Atop, it almost looks like it's not. Their place is floating, but it almost looked like from back here. It looked like the house had feet, which would be cute. Is that the boss of the house? Maybe. But yeah, cool. So it's floating a bit, but let's see what's on the side here. Looks like a little bit of a hangout spot. A little observation. You know, nothing too high or scary, but something that's fun. So I can overlook all the shenanigans going on across the way. I do notice that in Founders Point, you see a lot more folks walking around doing their thing. Like there's some people there, and sometimes they're doing like suspicious things. So you can kind of tell some stories. It's like, hey, what's going on over there? Anyway, over at their place, they also have these overhangs with some additional like little working stations going, like some little blacksmithing, a little bit of other planning. So hopefully someday, Blizzard, there will be like outdoor profession stations going on out here. That would be very cool. In the meantime, let's kind of make our way up and inside. Welcome to my humble adventurer's home, they say. Well, welcome. Thank you. I feel welcomed. As soon as we come in, we can lay down our stuff, fishing poles and all. And I'll take a little peek inside before we backtrack a little bit. So we have this we have these elevated and carved up spaces that are all sorts of stuff going on out there. Yeah. Ooh, I can't wait to see. Okay, so I did see a door here. So I want to see what's going on in here first. Oh, we're immediately greeted with L toilets. And we got some good plumbing going on. You know, we have a solid tank, backwards chair that's put in, piping that leads up top, a pull down. Well, okay, maybe it's a pull down sort of flush, which is kind of like crazy because that thing's hot. So that thing will kind of hurt. You want to have gloves on or have fire resistance, which is okay. Magic world, you got arcane toilet paper. That's kind of how that goes. And while you're going, you're staring at. Okay, oops, I clicked on the wrong thing. Whoop. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, disaster. Wait. Can I get out of that? Maybe I can get out? Nope, that's into it. How about this one? Nope, that's into it. Oh, I'm sitting on the wrong chair. That's why. Okay, how about... Oh, can I go over there? No, I can't. Oh no, my fate is sealed. Let's try again. I know it is a secret room, the in-between space. All right, let's try this again. See, I think they got kicked out too. You're gonna build a toilet jump right now? Great. I know I'm pretty reckless on my aim too. Yeah, so don't click bad on the toilets. Otherwise, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. You know, just finish your business and move on. So let's do a proper exploration of what's going on here. So here we have a very, very cozy spot for, social spot for folks to sit, enjoy some snacks. So hopefully not get doused with water because, yeah, okay, it looks like we have some water dripping out of there. It's trying to creep out. That's okay. Moving back here. Okay, so yeah, we have like these cool carved out spaces. So this was the bathroom. And then just on the side of it, you had like this whole little library set up and everything. Little things to put down. Here, though, you have this kind of study lab. You know, bit of research going on. Group research. You know, you have some lots of clutter going on here while your friends are like helping you look for stuff. Checking through books. Pouring through ancient texts. And I kind of like this touch here where it's not entirely closed off. It's meant to be like relatively open still. I like that. Yeah, it's kind of like what I wanted to do with like an earlier version of my cafe, where I wanted to have this kind of like closed off space, but not really a place that you kind of climb into. Like here are the beams, and then here's like the raised floor. But I wanted to keep it open, so that way it's not like too tight of a space, even if it might be cramped here. And it is this is another good example of like it being like fairly cramped, but also full of interesting things to look at, such as a prisoner right over there. They might be alive. It might not even be real, but I'm going to say they're a prisoner. Oh no. Dining space over here, which reminds me of my place, because I have a similar setup to like this here. You know, here's like the table. Here's like, well, sometimes books, or like in my case, like china and whatnot. And then, you know, straight wall. All right. Okay, so I think I've seen what I want to see in this room. Let's go into this. Woo. Okay, so this is a regular stairwell room, but you can see like there's a lot going on to fill out the space. So like we climb up. So we climb up an elevation. It's a bar area. Nice. So this bar area, nice and open. You know, ready to serve, lots of stuff to set up, pantry area in the corner to fill out the bottom of the stairwell. But then as we creep back over, you know, we have a place of like processing meat. Hey, this is cool. So they added a little something to kind of funnel out whatever's coming out of here. So I don't know what's being ground up here, but you know, there's a lot of room for it. That's neat. All right. As we go backwards, though, we have the upside down stove, right? So that way we can heat up the grill right under it. Actually, there's two of them going. Two burners are running. One of them has, you know, stew going, pizza oven, as I'll call it. Working faucet. Oh, I like that. I think that's the well, right? Yeah, you got a working faucet going. And a little bit of lights. Cute. Close that guy up. Neat. A rock garden serves as the center of this. A little bit of flower bed made with the bottom of that curved table. Another one, and another one. Yeah, simple design. So in this case, like they opted to turn it over, so that way they can just have like the smooth texture instead of like the really the very shaped texture that you see up top here. And that way our eyes are directed to the flowers instead. Some Naru dedication. Cute. Oh, and I like what they did here. They simplified the chess table and just kind of sunk it in a little bit. You know, to make it look more normal. It's because otherwise it's pretty extreme. Okay, so they redid the Calderai table. Actually, I think this is all the... Oh, no. This is the Calderai cooking table. But then they just layered some stuff on top of it to obscure the food. You know, here's like the pillow on top, vase with a cactus on top. So they kind of repurposed it into a more garden-y sort of thing. Nice. Oh, where'd that tree come from? Like I know... the tree came out of the fountain. That's cool. Or it's on the side of the fountain. Yeah, otherwise that's neat. That fills it out. And then up top, you have your lighting. Cool. All right, moving on. We go into... Okay, we kind of enter this irregular shaped area. So we got places to climb. We got a little library / bedroom over there. All right, let's go here first. Into the bathroom. A 2-person bathroom. So it's kind of like a master bath. So over here, oh, I like this. So we have these 3 doorways with trellises and bars put in. Actually, I don't think there are bars, but whatever, chalices to give shape here. So that way we have kind of a vent out from the tub. A little bit of a shelf is put in there to add some extras. That works out really well. You know, like I said, you know, it doesn't need to be like an entirely separate space. It could just be one room, but then the separators do more than enough to give privacy. And then here is the rest of the area carved out for a modest bed, complete with shelving and all that. Now, as for clickables, all these books are set up. A lot of gold went in here. And I clicked on something just now. I don't know what. But yeah, Mr. Snuffles is keeping an eye out on everything there. That's cool. I like how tight this space turns out to be. It's kind of funny though, because it's like the bath area turns out to be like just about, if not more spacious than the actual bedroom. So not a lot of room for like, hey, closet space. How about that? But we're not done yet, because this entire area here is kind of like the master bedroom. So here again is actually it's a different bedroom. So not exactly a couple, but more like a separate space. So here Reptar is in charge of this room, and this is a bit more of a proper bed, but it's kind of cool though. They use these fence posts to act as a dressing around it. So there's like lots of ways you can do this, but in this case, fence post will do the job. I think I turned off that fireplace from the other side. And then here you have like simple nightstand. Cool. Cool. No, I like the bed. Like at first I didn't really think of anything of it. And then I saw these, I'm like, wait, these are like oversized. Like, wait a minute. I know what this is. It's very cool. So that's the kind of mastery bedroom, but then we also can climb up here. Yeah, I can climb up this. And I think we're climbing up a table of sorts. And now, oh, a hidden night elf bedroom too. Okay, so a lot of people happen to live in this kind of like sleep space. And here, just as cozy, but still nice. It doesn't quite have that whole, you know, attic feel to it, but just kind of sort of because you have the lower ceiling. But this works out great. Yeah, it's sort of hard to tell my orientation right now. I like the touch here with having the bundle of firewood there for like extra stuff. With that and extra, yeah, the extra doodads there. Nice. For your Demon Hunter alt. Nice. All right. So, oh, that's that room. All right, so we were up top here. And we were here. And I think I've seen everything in this particular room. Pretty sure. So let's backtrack a bit, because I know I missed some stuff. All right, I know I'm not done yet. So we are here. Now we're going through this spots. So, all right, this is kind of the armory sort of spot. Oh yeah. Like I said, planning, shenanigans, Diablo stuff. So like later on, this is where we'll want to have our actual weapons, armor sets, things like that. Epic weapons we've collected. That'll be sick. That'll be sick. All right, let's go this way into, ooh, we got a whole shrine, a whole paladin shrine. Don't go beyond that. Is what this thing is sort of telling me. Maybe. Okay, this is kind of cool. So it's like this sort of booth elevated area, and what feels like a bunch of chairs to help line this out. Don't touch the altar, dude. Don't touch the altar. But you can't tell me to not touch the altar. I like the light. No, the lighting's great because we have like what could be, well, we have one light there. I don't know if having more would like help any, but we got the glow coming down. That's cool. That's really cool. All right. That's darling. I like how it glows. All right, and then through here is kind of like, you know, if we're like the priest or the father or whoever, this is where they do some of their work. Right? The next homily or something like that. That's cool. Yeah, a lot of silver hand, paladin representation. See, what I like here is they shaped all of this. So, you know, I mean, yeah, there's that light, but then check out what they had to do. They had to create all these different walls at all these different angles, and then they used bars or beams to help dress that up. And you can see like some of the beam work happening there as well. There's a little bit of clipping, but we can see the shape here come together, and it looks really good. Yeah. I believe everything here is like a placed wall, and then they set up like these pillars on each, you know, on each corner here to fill it out. Yeah, you can again see like kind of the clipping there to kind of just avoid the jaggies and all that. So, you know, not super perfect, but I mean, that doesn't take away from anything. This looks sick. I like it. And it's small. It's not like the sanctum of whatever it is. You know, the Paladin Order Hall. It doesn't have to be like that grand and whatnot. But a tight space like this can work out really, really effectively. Cool. All right, this is Raehne's place. We're over at Founders, and we have this very cozy setup. How does this work? So here's the house, but I don't think that tree is part of the lot, is it? Yeah. Things feel really natural here. So it's a little bit hard for me to tell which is the player lot and which is not. So that's kind of cool because I'm being fooled like this. Let's head over to this blacksmithy place though. So we got crafting stations basically, blacksmithing, planning under this overhang. I love this thing. This tent like thing. This thing's a unit. This thing is thick. I really enjoyed the look of this one whenever I see it being used. It's just neat. I like it a lot. But yeah, we go around. We have a nice spread of trees. We also have a little stable setup for the near future, right? At some point soon, we're going to have like our own stable, and we'll be able to have aminals or whatnot, just kind of mounts or whatnot, just kind of going around. It'll be very cool to eventually see helicopters and bikes and whatnot and discs just kind of grazing for like some really awkward moments. But as for what's here, it's really nice. So once again, we have like the really thick tent being used. They closed it off and they made a little stable for their little Griffin. So Griffin has a house. Oh, Griffin's happy too. Yay. Dude, I actually wanted to go up and loot that for a second. Shucks. Yeah, very cool little stable setup. Around the house, you know, just a little dressing of greens to give it a little bit of extra color and all that. We can clearly see it's a level 2 place. And around here, you see it further dressed with the greens on this side here. But yeah, the way that it happens to be dressed in this way just ends up looking really nice. Yeah, I dig it. Oh, what's kind of cool too is because like here's the main road, right? Here's the main road. You're kind of going around. Let's pretend I'm like some jerk, right? And I'm looking. I'm like, is there any Amazon packages up front that I can like swipe? And it's hard to see, which helps. That helps. That matters these days, guys. That matters these days. But let's head inside and see what we get. All right. So as soon as we walk in, you know, we have a place to set stuff down, hang stuff up, take our shoes off. switch to like indoor mode, and you can already tell this place is really tight. I think we can expect like some, you know, some very like cozy, some very narrow pathways to and fro. Maybe not so much on like low roofs or anything, but it does feel, like I said, nice and cozy inside. So immediate bathroom and immediate lighting check. It looks like we're either natural light or unnatural dark. I think we're in the unnatural dark with this right here. So we go in and we have a very like, you know, intimate feeling bathroom. I mean, the lighting just totally changes the vibes here. So clearly not the normal kind of bathroom where you want it to be like super bright because you have a whole vanity set up. This is just like kind of like a quick stop that you're making. It almost feels like a restaurant. The restaurant kind of bathroom where it's like it's okay for it to be like kind of dark in there. Oh, sorry, puppy. Yeah. Let's head on inside a little bit further. And I think we can expect more of this style right here. Well, we'll see the likes of like rugs or tables being used as wallpaper of sorts. So we go in and very cool. I really like the layout already because we have like this climb right up here. But then again, we have like these really tight spaces set up. So like here's like this dining room, this little dining room that's been carved out once again. And we're just kind of running into these things now. You can kind of see like boom, boom, boom. We have a double doorway sort of thing here, an additional wall set up. That looks like the back of a shelf, perhaps that's helping to line this up. Place for puppy to like have a meal. No, he's like, no, I want to play. And then again, you know, we're seeing some like additional wallpaper being used. So back here we can see like some kind of subtle lighting being used here. And then now we see like that low roof. So maybe we are going to see some low roofing action here because, oh, check out the top here. Ooh, that's nice. Now now from the looks of it, this is 4 of those Draenei stained glass window like things. So like there's one and here's another. It's just kind of flipped around, but it has that kind of illusion as if it's like one big piece. And then you have these beams that are like stuck on it, but that looks like just like the standard roof. You know, that's a standard ceiling, I'm sorry, that you have up there. But then also notice how, oh, that's very unique. I think we're seeing the roof kind of close up a little bit too, because normally it's just like a box, right? But instead we have like what looks like just wall sections that are like kind of cut off. So here's like a certain part of it, like the top or bottom of it, I'm not sure which one. You have it there, and then you have another one that's flipped the other way around, so that way it kind of comes down. That's very, very good. That's a very good because it's super clean up there. Like you can very slightly see some of the clips right there, and you know that's still really, really good. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. It feels very natural. I'm jealous, in fact. And I haven't really looked at much. You know, hunter table right there. Cool. And then we'll do the climb and everything. I just want to try to explore what seems to be like just this one room so far. So we'll start on the bottom floor. We looked at the dining room. We'll go over here a little bit where we have like this nice setup here. We have the tree and a hot tub. Nice. I don't know if it's any good to have a tree sitting in like, you know, 90-degree temp water, but you know, it's still very pretty. I wish that there was, you know, I think I prefer to have one where you don't see the leaves falling. Yeah, I just want to have it like sit and feel like we're not outside. But otherwise, it's this nice kind of setup that we have right over here. You know, just like, oh, we bought something really nice. And I want to have it as like kind of a as a big piece, you know, as we walk through the house. Yeah, sure. Now back here, very nice window setup. You know, we have kind of the older style where we just have like the rugs that are creating the lighting effect or the kind of outside effect. You can see kind of the sun shafts that are coming down here. It might be the Paladin tome. It might be the Goblin one. Not really sure, but well, Sam's happy. Sam's like, yeah, I get to sit here. And then notice the colors here too. They blend really well. You know, they're not trying to go for any like contrasting colors. They're trying to make it like more or less match with everything else here. But a really cool setup. You have the curved tables right up here to set up the dressing, beams to balance it out. And of course, you have like the typical angle, followed by, you know, just a simple setup with the bar shelf to make a platform. Yeah, nice and simple. And then right up here, we have a living room of sorts. Nice, and like I said, nice and tight. So notice how we went up this little elevation, you know, to just kind of close off the space. And then here, we have this rug paper, if you want to talk it up like that. Eritrar's right up there. Hello, buddy. And notice how the walls, the wallpaper, you know, for the most part, matches the furniture here. You know, we have like this kind of pale blue vibe going on. And puppies, please. And it's being illuminated a little bit by the Arakoa statue, not by too much though. For the most part, it's like it's going to be other sources. So like the fireplace there, the candelabra there, that's doing some of the work. So we'll go there in a bit. I just want to make sure that I'm exploring the rest of this room first. So we might be doing a bit of a climb, and then we'll sort of like backtrack. We're going to figure out what's going on. So up here, very detailed setup for what looks to be a window, because we have like two shelves that have been kind of turned around, pillar, again with the curved table, basically the same dressing that we saw below, but instead of the kind of illusion of being outside, they just put up a mirror, which works out, and then the being down there too. It has the feel of it being like a shelf, but the fact that it's like really built-in looking, very good. Now, as we continue this climb, we have this very complex climb. So we went up one set of stairs. Here, let me kind of pull back here. We go up one set of stairs. We have pillars to help like line this up. Actually, they're beams, not pillars, being used, it looks like. And then we go up there. We go up this climb, and up here we have this like library spot. Very cool. Yeah, man, this is really neat. You know, making up like these additional, making this additional landing, and then adding so much more to it. So it's like this whole workspace, you know, with like lots of little things to make the place look lived in. It's kind of like this open air office sort of spot, which I know I'd be really annoyed by, because here we go. I'll like sit down and people are kind of walking around doing their business. I mean, we'll see what's going on upstairs, and we'll see how the traffic looks. But I know I'd be annoyed by that. Like people will be walking by and then I'd have to look busy. So let's climb up a little bit more. And very interesting, we have like this slightly curved climb here. There's the boss chilling, doing their thing. Very unsafe, by the way. Gosh, see what they made a great example of how you need to be careful when navigating through the house. So we go up this other half landing here. And then we have options to go left or right. We're going to go here first. And we have this grander library set up here. A nice little thing to like show off like collections and what have you. And we get a closer look at the roof as well. So we'll take a look at that in a bit, but let's see what's going on up here first. Notice how they skinned the side here, you know, to just kind of like smooth it out. Otherwise this would look a little bit like jank with the exposed looking beams on the side, so that helps a bit. And then we have this whole like upstairs gallery where folks can sit, admire some of the collections, play games, and then whoever loses gets thrown off. You know, just like the boss did when they fell down. So don't lose, buddy. It's either that or get thrown into the fireplace, but the fireplace is like kind of a normal size, so it's okay. But now let's take a look at the roof here again. So let's admire. This is very, very impressive. Even when we're taking a look at it from close up. So you can see like how the clipping works, or you have like it's angled a certain way, they bring it down, clip it right through, and then they do the same thing up here. Looks like there's like other beams here to help kind of like smooth this out and make that transition look good. And then finally you have, here's like the actual Belemeth roof that's right up top. So I'm guessing that this might be like a vaulted ceiling of sorts. Maybe, it's hard to tell because they kind of covered up whatever would have been there. But I think not, because I don't think these beams are there for a vaulted ceiling, but I'm not sure. It's just very impressive though. I really like this whole natural look to it. I think I'd really like to, yeah, this is very inspiring. I want to see what I can possibly do with this. So it is just a regular scene. Okay, cool. Thanks, Raehne. So on this other end here, more of the gallery that's being set up. Now, mind you, this is a slightly higher elevation, so it doesn't look like we're going to be able to go anywhere from here in particular. But you'll notice like there's like this whole pillar-like thing, then maybe we'll climb that. But this just happens to be the top of it. And we have this whole artist workshop up here. Nice. Very nice. All the fixings here. So we have like, so here's like the quick story. You know, they're sculpting stuff, they're putting these figures together and whatnot. When it's ready, it goes in there to cook. And, you know, here's maybe the finished product and all that. Paints are going. Oh, what a cheater. Look at that. Using AI for painting. Okay, this whole, all the credibility is gone. Using arcane intelligence to paint for them. Boo. But very neat. Very, very neat. And what do we have here? Just dirt. So what is that? Oh. So what would be in here? Or is that like stuff to mix things with? Well, is that like the clay, like the pile of like powdered clay or something like that? It could be. Seedlings, okay. Compost. Could be any number of things, but this right here, come on guys, this generation, we can't have that. Really cool setup though. This could have been anything. This could have been a battle station. This could have been a place for like practicing target dummies and all that. This could have been a little fell torture chamber. But now, artist nook. It's very neat. Very neat. And then check out the view from up top. You know, we can kind of like check out like, you know, the whole creation from down here. Very neat. I mean, if I wanted to, I can jump up there too. It looks like there's even like seating that's been set up there, but I'm just a lowly paladin. Sorry. So let's make our way down. And well, actually, I want to kind of go across here a little bit. I want to admire the work from this angle here. So check that out. We're gonna eventually, you know, go up this climb and go up multiple levels here. You know, and eventually get to the top. Really neat setup. You know, walls at those certain angles, beams instead of pillars. I think pillars. The pillars are cool, but they wouldn't do a good job of skinning the corners here and giving it life. I have noticed too, like the discoloration here, which feels natural. I'm guessing like maybe they purposefully rotated the beams because they do have a slightly different color to them when you rotate them, or it might just be a lighting thing for all I know. So let's make our way down. Oh, these are in fact pillars. Oh, okay. How interesting, because I don't see where's the typical thing that I see from them? They have a sort of maybe it's just a different kind of pillow that I just kind of forgot about. But I thought the pillows, they have like this little like kind of like joint. Oh, it's just a straight one. Okay. So it's that different style. Got it. Very good. So now we're gonna do this climb, and we're gonna go into like this this smaller area here. Notice how we're passing by some of these class flags, and we enter a bedroom. Ooh, a very cozy bedroom. Ooh, look at this. Oh, that's a good touch. The partially opened cabinet door. Haha. Now, of course, the OCD in me is like, dude, I want to close it. I can't close it, but that's all. It's all good. This cushion, I believe this is the new cushion that came from the pet. Where's my pet, by the way? Oh, he left. Oh boy. I guess he's off doing his own thing. But I think that's from the Rufus package, for those who are interested in that. So like right up here, it definitely has this whole hunter vibe, or at least a big game hunter kind of room. So we can look outside and everything, very neat. And then back here, you know, whole bed setup, lots of trophies though. Lots and lots of trophies. Even a bathtub is here. Huh. Do I want to bathe where I sleep? You know, when there's like no barrier, no nothing. I guess it's very airy though, you know, thanks to the open trellis and all that. So if I come in after a long day of adventure and all that stuff and I'm rank, you know, yeah, sure, I can, you know, I bathe here, but someone else is gonna get the water out. Just don't let it sit for too long. Ugh. All right. I was kind of expecting to climb up a little bit higher. So, but I think that is in fact, you know, the roof here, you know, because this happens to be a pretty high roof. I think that the artist does have to be up there. That's cool. Yeah, really, really good setup. So now I believe, let me double check, because I think there's a path that goes there and then there. So I think we're going to go here. I'm going to just take a guess. I don't think I'm going to, maybe I won't get too far, but now into the kitchen. Big kitchen, by the way. And hey, there's Rufus. Yeah, very, very big kitchen. So we come in and we can see right here. Here's like mostly the pantry area and the washing area. All the fixings are kind of like set up one suspended by platform to give it that elevated look. The coffee thing's up there. Why is it up there? It should be like down here. What are we making for today? Cutting up some salad. All good. And then they picked up all sorts of assets, and also kind of looks like they smalled them up. They smalled them up so that they can fit onto these wall shelves right over here. Pretty plain looking wall shelves, but straight edge. So nice and easy to use, easy to organize stuff. Up top, the trellis. Interesting, a very rough trellis to hold up storage items. That's cool. Yeah, more storage there, plus wine. Here we have like a prep table. And then back here is the actual, where all the actual cooking happens. So like two big grills. One right there, one right there. A pot of something is going. Cool. And those here that they set up like a little bit of closet space. They just like carved a little something out. Added some details here too. Yeah, so you have like these straight edges here, which could be a number of different things. It might be pieces of the wall or whatnot to help put that together. Yeah, like the straight edges though look really clean. Yeah. And then back here you have a smaller dining area. So I'm going to back up a little bit. So here's like the nice, here's like the nicer spot. So that's for like guests and whatnot. But then back here, like it's like, okay, it's either for the staff or if you're just like eating on your own, it's all good. You know, you don't need to put out like the good china or nothing like that. You just kind of sit, do your thing, eat real quick, and then head out. Now, of course, oh, this is a big, I forgot, I don't know the term, but basically, dude, this thing's huge to suit cooking that big old pig. And as for what we have, I think these are all Gilnean walls. Yeah, Gilnean walls are being used as like pretty much the entire structure. Although with the Pandaren walls are here at the bottom as the base. Pandaren walls, a couple of fireplaces. That's probably a fence or whatnot. And then Gilnean wall, 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 wall. Neat. Pulls it off. And then, and then we transition our way out. Oh, what the damn. Ooh. Okay, so this is like this is a very grand, holy cow, gazebo-like thing. This is what happens when you give gazebos enough food and they evolve. They become this thing. Holy moly. So this is the conservatory. Okay. Okay, so notice the checkerboard floor that we have. And this is just using like big platform for the dark stuff, and then smaller platforms to like skin it. Really good. Helps saves on the budget too, because that would otherwise eat a lot of budget. We have what looks like 2 Niffin arches that's being used as a giant planter for the centerpiece here, like these trees that are just like reaching out into the sky. That's really cool up there. I love that skylight. These are all just platforms and then trellises to create I mean, you start off with the base, right? Which the lighting doesn't help here, but we can kind of see that these are rounded elven tables to make the main shape that kind of hold everything up. And it's followed by trellises around it, and then triangular or square platforms, and then pillars right up there to make the top. And up top there is like some sort of like wind-looking catching structure. The exterior, the walls here though, is just Gilnean walls and trellises, and pillars, or beams. You know, so that helps shape like that whole thing. And then from there, you just fill out the space. You know, place to sit, have snacks, prepare some like gardening stuff. And then here was like a little fountain-looking contraption. You know, that way you can like sit, read, enjoy some sounds and sun while you're out here. Really cool. Now, I'm pretty sure we can travel out here too. Like here. Boop, boop. So notice here, tables are being used as like just these giant walls. Tables with trellises that are... No, these are shelves. Yeah, that's very creative. Yeah, so check out this shot here. Really good transition. Oh man, I mean, it almost looks too big, but it's a crazy looking structure from like back here. That's neat. That's really neat. So we can see it here. We can zoom pretty far up in this kind of room. You can see here like the roofing that's being used. So you have some like transparencies here with the windows, and then just tables. Table to kind of round that out. That is really, really good. And then notice again how these tables are being used as like just giant walls and shelves that are flipped around to create like these kinds of transitions for like these otherwise like large structures and all, because it's not like perfectly round. They even set up like a nice little exit door with like the hinge and everything. So if you want to get out that way, that's cool. And then otherwise, they can do whatever they want here. So they just add some greens. Greens, trees, pretty flowers and all that. A path to take us all the way through. You know, and then some nice little centerpieces. So it has that whole park vibe. You know, we sit, feed birds and all that stuff, and just enjoy the vibes out here. Yeah. Really, really good. Really, really good. Cool. Yeah, this is a great place. Now let's continue exploring, because there's like a whole other side to this thing too. All right, back to the kitchen area. Go through the pantry. Admire some of the food spread. Ooh. Desserts, snacks. So they do, okay, so they put the coffee away, right? But it's because it was done. And what do we have? Looks like little cinnamon roll looking guys. Oh, delicious. Getting hungry now. God dang it. But yeah, snacks are ready to go. Puppy's like, I want it. Give it to me. Give it to me. All right, so we'll go ahead and go across, and we'll go to this other end. So we have to explore here. So as soon as we go in, we can kind of see like, we have this different variation of walls. We just have these, you know, shelves that have been flipped around to create like these big wood panels. No decor needed there. And then we enter like this kind of, well, this, I'll just call this like a hallway here. We'll go through here first. We have this little gallery. So like kind of 3D paintings using tables and other like flat structures to create like new things. It's very, very creative too. So you start off with like these rugs that are being used here, and like a little bit of decor here, but check out how these things are assembled. So we have what appears to be like a table, the flamingo, that's like nice and simple. Here we have the Koreshi, the Koreshi bookshelf. And instead of a shelf, they just created like this sort of like artwork instead. They just kind of like meshed that, that into the wall. Never mind the whole shelf part. And then they use that whole leatherworking dragon thing to just skin it and just create like a little art piece. Kind of the same thing here too, where you have like multiple objects. In this case, the gear, and I believe that's a table structure to create something else entirely too. And even down here, one of the looks like a Koreshi item along with the Harajic cube. So nothing too cluttery, but just something that's just like a nice little presentation in this hallway. And here on the other side, you see something a little bit similar. You have a number of different objects here. I don't know if this actually opens up. Yes, it does. So you have like these sorts of things that are set up along with the walls, and even up here, just like different presentations of stuff. Take that whole Night Fae thing, map into the either a shelf or a trellis. I could be either or, to create like this new presentation. So let's go in here since I opened the door, and in here things do get a bit more cluttered. It has this nice little contrast between like what is nice and set up for presentation versus something that's more being worked and lived in and whatnot. So we got plans. We can notice like a couple of new assets here, but of course classic plans for Gilneas. This is kind of what I meant here. You have like what is being depicted as a weapon, but it's actually just a hanger. But sure, it's a weapon. Yeah, we'll just go with that. But yeah, multiple weapons that are being put up in this particular spot, and also here. Nice. So let's back up from that guy, and now we have a number of rooms to explore. Seems to have some pretty strong themes to them too, so we'll go into the Kultiran room. I mean, it has this really strong Kultiran green to it. Note the little vanity. Actually note the lighting. This is kind of like a smoking room of sorts. So here the 1% is just here chilling, talking about how to carve up Azeroth and profit out of it and everything. But that aside, it is a cool like loungy place. Play some pool over here, read some books, enjoy some of the fire. Yeah, very much kind of like a little club vibe from here. Really good. So we'll go across a little bit into this next room and the next room. So now we have this it does have this whole gallery feel. So now we're going through this like kind of troll / Tauren gallery. So we have like some Tauren related stuff here. On the opposite end, some Amani related stuff. Love the way that these new textures look. They look super, super clean. Really good. We go through like this little baby hallway again. And, once again, notice how it's skinned with these shelves to give it a little bit of a different flavor. And then we go into this room where, again, we have like this gallery. Trophy gallery. So we sit. We say hi to the little Dreamrift boss or whoever that is. Like, this is the Wraithfinder one, I believe, right? That's why I was seeing it. I kept thinking that this was the one from Voidstorm, but I think that one's like a little bit different. But here on other parts, some basic shelves, but also some newer stuff too. Notice as well, like lots of different platforms that we can use for these things. In this case, the Dwarven fence post does a really good job of being a clean way to present trophies or other items. I just noticed some stairs here too. Oh boy. Oh wait, we're outside. Oh hell. Oh, that's dope. Ooh, that's really good. Because I did see that there was like an outside thing. I just didn't quite know where we were, but we're already outside. Very good. Very, very good. I'm going to climb because I want to see what kind of view we have from here. Oh, that's dope. That's hella cool. So we can see, so we have like a open roof right outside. Notice how all of these platforms are being shaped to create the dome. So in this case, nothing too fancy. We're not doing the whole trellis and rounded table setup thing. We just got platform. But we do have here upside down doorways, to help carve out a window, and then beams to help skin the rest. But yeah, we do have this opportunity to observe. Oh, that's dope. It's the end of the world. We're in trouble. This is the kind of thing where in a sense we're like, oh wow, that's so cool. But in another sense, it's this is it. This is danger that's happening there. Now, as for what that is, I am not sure. I am not certain what it is that creates that effect. Now, I am seeing the paladin tome thing. That's what's creating the whole light trail, smoke trail sort of thing. The green swirlies, though, I am not sure. But that makes it look way cool. Way cool. I'll let Raehne answer that if she can. If they can in chat. But yeah, that looks dope. That looks really cool. Demon Hunter map from Legion. Okay, I think maybe the map, but yeah, it's the swirly thing that I'm like, whoa, that's really neat. So let's make our way back down. I think, yeah. Let's climb down back to the first floor, and then we'll observe from outside. So now we have a second kind of outdoor garden. Less of a park thing, but here, let me turn around. And once again, really good transition here. Yeah, this works out really well. It's super clean. Super impressed, man. So we go around, greens, very, very pretty. We'll climb up that in just a bit. I want to go back over here to where this trellis was and see what's going on there. Hello to the gnome. And okay, so it's just a very cute, very pleasant place to sit, right? Has some of these new spring trellises that are here. But it's also dressed with the Priory trellis. At least two of them. Yeah, at least two of them are being set up as like this nice little spot. So, I haven't been taking screenshots. I should do that. I'll make sure I do that before I leave, though. And then here we have like this. Well, it feels like this sort of climb, but we have like these cool little Herondar assets. Let's kind of make our way up to a little natural spring. Boop. Oh, puppy's excited. So we have this natural spring to hang out in. Otherwise, we can just kind of rest, cool ourselves off, air dry. You know what I mean? And as we explore this a little bit more, we can see, there's like multiple hot springs in here. So I'll like dive in here, have a good time, enjoy some snacks and wine and what have you, as well as like the little gentle glow from the different light sources. So we have light sources here just to the side of us, and like a little bit more that isn't really coming from these Borealis lights, but it kind of hints at that story. So like here's like the shot, right? And that works out really good. Really, really good. And then we can kind of look back at the inside of the house from there. Really good, dude. Did we miss anything? Because boy, there was a lot. Like, this is the kind of thing, you know, this is a level 9 house. Like, there's just tons and tons of details here. Some of it can be fairly easily put together with clever use and your own experience as you start putting things together and learning things. Other stuff is just, okay, you got to throw down or hunt for like pieces that you really want to go for. But it's so much of like the assembly. Oh, so there's a chapel too. Okay, so I missed that. I'm gonna have to like find it. I think it's here. Oh goodness, we're still not done. That's crazy. Okay, I kind of remember this. Yeah, I remember this spot because there's a thing here where we can like sit, and there's like this little chapel here. And once again, we see another example. And I think I pointed this out before from the earlier visits, how you see the walls kind of like are being used to great effect here to close up this space and create, you know, this small room. It's a little baby chapel. Awesome. Awesome spot. You know, it's still modest as it was before too. You know, it's not like screaming at us. No offensive lights or anything like that. You know, just a nice, simple setup. But also highly detailed. I mean, here we have like this, you know, this sort of setup where you have like it carved out with a door, but it's also been dressed up with like the elven bench that's been kind of like, you know, pushed in, the paladin stuff, candles to kind of close it off. Another what looks like a platform or a shelf to create, you know, to kind of tighten that space. Yeah. So again, like this is what's possible with like these, with having like this much budget and all that, that you can add like tons and tons of details. Now, of course, for those who are like, hey, you know, I need to have like this much space in order to have all of these things. It's not like you have to have everything at once. You know, maybe you don't need to have like the 2 outdoor rooms, at least not yet. You know, having just this spot here, just this room, I'm pretty sure you'll need to have at least like a level 4 or 5 house to like even have like the budget to put this one stairwell room together. This is a lot. It was a whole lot, but hugely impressive. Like this is great. This is like a great example again of a high level house. So thank you for showing us.